Hi, every week we share a short story culled from the great sages, the Talmud, the Torah, the Medrash, and the Hasidic masters. Today's story is about Yassel, the bagel maker. Yassel used to make the most delicious bagels in his little town known as the Shtetl. Although Yassel made delicious bagels, unfortunately business was not booming for him because people in the Shtetl could not afford the luxuries of the bagels. And so he tried to eke out a living every day. He did what he can to make bagels, different flavors, as best as he can to try to earn a living for his family, but unfortunately it was never enough. And things were difficult. During slow times of the bagel making, he would try to get odds and ends and other jobs to try to fill the orders and try to put food on his table in order to feed his family and clothe his children. But life was not easy for him. He never really made it. He never had enough money for all his family's needs for the food and the clothing and the repairs that the house constantly needed. One day, as he was walking the market selling his bagels, he sees a big commotion. People are running and people are talking, and he runs, follows the crowd, see what's the commotion all about. And he asks his friends, he said, "What's going on?" They said, "Well, the Rebbe Rab Zusha from Anipola had come to the market, and people are greeting him, and he is greeting them. And whoever wants can go over there to him and ask him for a blessing." Rabbi Yassel thought, who am I to squeeze my way in to meet the great Rebbe Rab Zusha to ask him for a blessing? And he stood on the side, watching everyone coming and asking for their blessings, then giving the Rebbe a coin for charity. He thought to himself, he says, not only am I not worthy to ask for a blessing, and who am I to take the Rebbe's time, I also don't have any money. I don't even have a coin in my pocket to give him as a charity and as a thanks for the blessings. But as he's standing and daydreaming about if he should go or if he should not go, all of a sudden he hears a voice that Rabbi Zusha calling out saying, "Rabbi Yassel, Rabbi Yosef, come here. Rabbi Yassel, come here." He thinks to himself, my name is Yassel, but no one ever called me Rabbi Yosef. And why would the Rebbe be calling me? Probably referring to another Yosef that is in the marketplace. And indeed, several Yosefs went over to Rab Zusha and they said, "My name is Yassel, my name is Yosef, my name is Yosef." And each one, Rab Zusha said, "I don't mean you, I don't mean you. Thank you for coming over, but I don't mean you." So finally, Yassel, the bagel maker, decides he's going to go over to the Rebbe. And so he comes over to Rab Zusha, and Rab Zusha says, "You're the Rab Yosef that I've been looking for. Please tell me, how's life? How's livelihood?" And so Rabbi Yosef, I'll tell you the truth. I work very hard making the most delicious bagels, but unfortunately life in the shtetl is not easy and people cannot afford my bagels, and therefore I barely eke out and make a living in order to feed my children and to clothe them. Rabbi Zusha says, "I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give you 3 coins. He says, "Do you know what the word geffen means?" Geffen means wine. But you know what geffen stands for? It's actually an acronym for 3 words. Geffen means gesund, strength. The pei stands for parnasa, livelihood. And the nun stands for nachas, which means joy. So geffen, gesund, health, parnasa, livelihood, and nachas, joy. And so I'm going to give you these 3 coins. Take the 3 coins. Do you have a pushka in your house, a charity box in your house? The Rebbe said, "Yes, I do, but it's empty. There's nothing in it." He said, "I want you to take these 3 coins, put them into the charity box. Tomorrow, I want you to take out 2 of them. One, give to charity, and the other one, go and buy whatever you need for your family. But always leave 1 coin in the charity. Always leave something in the charity box." And so the next morning, Rabbi Yosef woke up after he put the 3 coins in the charity box the day before. He wakes up and he takes out 2 of the coins, leaving 1 inside the charity box as Rab Zusha had specifically told him. He takes the first one, he gives it to the charity communal charity box, and the next one he goes and he buys food for his family. The next morning he wakes up and he looks inside the charity box and he sees there are many more coins. So he takes out all the coins, leaving 1 in the charity box, and he divides them in half. Half it he gives to the communal charity. The other half he goes and he buys clothing and more food for his family. And this goes on every single day. Every day he comes back, the charity box is fuller than the day before. He leaves one coin and takes it out, splits it in half, gives it to the communal charity. The other half he takes and he begins to invest in business. And slowly but surely his business begins to flourish and he's doing very well and he's giving lots and lots of charity. Now he no longer has to dip into the charity box, but in fact he's putting money into the charity box. But he's taking his money that he made, investing it, reinvesting it, and his business begins to grow. Until eventually, Rabbi Yosef realizes that he has enough money to continue to live, provide for his family, and also continue to give charity. He takes all the money in the charity box and he contributes it to a worthy cause. And this is the life for Rabbi Yosef. And this is the blessing that Rabbi Zusha had given him. Gefen, Gesund, health, Parnasa, livelihood, and Nachas, and joy. These 3 coins are the symbolism and the blessings that he received from Rabbi Zusha, and he continued to make sure that all the investments that he made, all the money that he made, he never kept it for himself, but he always made sure to remember the message. Rabbi Zusha said, leave a coin in the charity box, meaning to say, always remember to give charity with whatever you make, and this will be the source of your blessings for many years to come, with health, livelihood, and joy.